Hi, I'm Jason from StrataGames. Today we're playing some Esper CryoBlade. This is the deck that I'm most excited to try out, given Edge of Eternities has just come out, because Cryogen Relic looks absolutely busted. It's kind of a cross between Experimental Synthesizer and Ichor Wellspring. Whenever it enters or leaves, you draw a card, which means if you pick it up with a core Skyfisher or a Glint, you're going to draw another card. I've been trying to make an Esper GlintBlade deck for a while, even before this card was previewed, but it never felt like there was a real reason to play blue, and now we actually have that. So, Cryogen Relic just seems sweet. We're playing, of course, a lot of the cards you're going to see in an Orzhov GlintBlade deck. 2 Tithing Blades, 2 Grim Baubles. I'm playing a couple Black Mage's Rod as other cards that we can pick up, and other finishers. Of course, Reverse Familiar is one of the reasons to be playing this type of deck anyway. And for a couple other artifacts, I'm playing a 1 of Spellbound, kind of taking a page out of Grixis Affinities book for this, and then a couple Blood Fountains, because Blood Fountain is a phenomenal card as well. For a little more graveyard removal, and also just creature removal, Thraben Charm, we have a couple Cast Downs, Suffocating Fumes, to be able to clear a lot of our opponent's creatures if they go wide. Card draw, we have a couple Fanatical Offerings, but another reason to go blue is Thoughtcast is obviously a great card. Fanatical Offering type cards are really good. 2 mana to draw 2 is great. 1 mana to draw 2 is a little bit better most of the time. It is sorcery speed, which is relevant, but I generally think Thoughtcast is better. Another benefit from going blue is that we get a little bit of counter magic. Metallic Rebuke can basically be 1 mana counter unless they pay 3, as long as we have a couple artifacts sitting around, which we usually will. I'm trying a Kenku Artificer. Not sure it's amazing in this deck, but we have a bunch of bridges, just like Grixis Affinity, to put them on, and we have Blood Fountains to recur them, so it's possible we can get them going multiple times. We also have a Ghostly Flicker, which can work with the Artificer. It can be used to make your opponent discard 2 cards with familiars. You can re-trigger Tithing Blade or Black Mage's Rod or Grim Bauble. But of course, Cryogen Relic draws when it enters or leaves, which means if you Ghostly Flicker 1 of these, you're going to draw a card because it left and because it re-entered. If you Ghostly Flicker 2 of these, you're going to draw 4 cards for just 3 mana. So I think Ghostly Flicker has a lot of synergies with these cards that I wanted to try a 1 of. I know people are excited to try this in Familiars and Flickertron. I am less so excited to try those, but I think a Ghostly Flicker in this deck could be a sweet piece of tech. Our mana base is more or less a Grixis Affinity mana base shifted to white instead of red. Just a whole bunch of bridges, mostly artifact lands, and a 1 of Swamp in case we get the initiative or we get Cleansing Wildfire or anything like that. For our sideboard, we have a couple Duress, we have 3 Dust to Dust, a couple Thraben Charm, 4 Blue Elemental Blast, 1 of Arms of Hadar, and 3 Navigator's Compass. I think these give a wide range of things that we're going to be able to play against nicely, and I'm really excited to try the deck out. So let's jump into a league and see how we do. All right, round 1 here. Hand looks pretty good. Assuming our opponent plays creatures, we can sweep them away with Tithing Blade. Green is a good indication of that. Arbor Elf is nice. Grim Bauble would actually be really nice off the top. Wrong black artifact 1-drop, but not a terrible card either. I think we're just playing the bridge. Unfortunately, they're probably going to have another creature this turn, so Tithing Blade is not going to hit anything unless they just spend this turn developing mana. Another Arbor Elf. I mean, I'd take 1 of them off the field. And a Birchlow Rangers. Oh, they're actually Elves. Arbor Elf not usually in Elves, so that's interesting. Winding Way. Masked Vandal is going to be pretty annoying, and they have a generous ent to use it. I think I just Tithing Blade. If they want to take away the Tithing Blade, it's not great, but it's fine. I'd kind of rather them take it than take away 1 of our lands. But then again, maybe with the Ghostly Flicker and all of our guys that can pick up the Tithing Blade, that's not the best. They're going to Vandal the bridge anyway, so that's fine. We don't have blue anymore. They're going to play the Timberwatch Elf. Black Mage's Rod. I don't think I care about that. I think we're just playing Skyfisher, picking up the Tithing Blade. And I guess try to slowly whittle down their creatures that way. Seems like it's not going to work very well, very quickly for us. Definitely would love our Suffocating Fumes, although that accidentally kills 2 of their guys, plus they have a Timberwatch Elf, so I guess just a Cast Down is probably our first thing we need. Another Timberwatch Elf. And a Well-Wisher. Swing with the Vandal, we'll take 1. They'll make it 7. Glint Hawk, and we're dead. Amazing. We get Arms of Hadar. Unfortunately, we just took another one of those out. I guess Thraben Charm is removal. Kenku's way too slow. We don't care about Graveyard, really. I guess it can make it so they can't Masked Vandal a specific one of our cards. Black Mage's Rod is probably even worse, actually, so sure. Oh, plus obviously I'm bringing in Thraben Charms for removal. We don't have the greatest sideboard against them here. This is definitely a matchup that's going to be a lot worse for us than it is for Grixis Affinity, since we don't even have Cart Clan Shaman. Let's see what we can do. They mulligan to 3, so that's going to help things a little bit. Play a bridge and pass. Goldmire Bridge is a good draw. They cycle an Ent for a second land. They have a Masked Vandal. That is annoying. We will just have to pass again then. They swing for 1. Have a Priest of Titania, an Aquarian Ranger. We get a bridge. I mean, just to play it safe, we're going to cast down the Priest, because if they get like a Generous Ent or a Nyxborn Hydra, they can use that mana, or even just like a Lead the Stampede. Winding Way as well. They find 2 Birch Lords and a V2 Ghazi Inspector, not the worst. Play the Rangers, swing for 2. We get an Ancient Den. So I'll play a Relic, Skyfisher. We'll pick it back up with the Glint Hawk, and then we'll refurb, take their last card. Arms of Hadar is a good draw. Can wipe away these 3 guys. They can't attack anymore, and they play Aquarian, so I think Arms will just mop this up nicely, and we'll start attacking for 4. Alright, we got game 2, mostly because they mulliganed to 3. We have to mulligan. This hand is fine, I guess. I'll just get rid of the swamp. They're going to be getting rid of these bridges before they go for the vault, so... You know, there's a Sentinel. Play a bridge, we get another. Cycle an Ent, Aquarian Ranger, and swing for 1. Ancient Den. I guess we just play another bridge. I don't want to play a Skyfisher. I don't want to play a cast down on these guys. I could leave up the cast down, but there's no guarantee they'll play something I really care about. Plus, if they like Vandal away one of my lands, it'll be a waste anyway. Might as well get the tapped one out of the way. There's the Vandal. Taking out the Goldmire Bridge. V2 Ghazi Inspector is just a 1/3. There's a Cryogen Relic. So let's play that. Metallic Rebuke isn't terrible. Not going to be great for long, though. There's a Priest of Titania. That I'll probably have to cast down. And I'll lead the Stampede. 2 Sentinels and a Ranger isn't the worst. They swing for 2. Arms of Hadar. Oh, there's no way I can just leave this Priest this turn, though. They'll have an insane amount of mana, so I absolutely have to cast it down. And then I don't even have Rebuke up, and then next turn I can't Arms of Hadar. Everything's coming up awkwardly. Tap a bunch of mana, looks like a Nyxborn Hydra on the Vandal. I don't have the artifacts for the Rebuke, so it's a 4/6. Not the worst, but also definitely still going to kill us pretty quick. I'll play a Skyfisher, pick up the Relic. We get a Refurb. We'll play that. Discard a Ranger. Another Inspector. Puts a counter on the Vandal. Didn't realize it could put a counter on anything. We have to take 5 here. They play a couple Sentinels. Pass the turn. Another Refurb. We're just going to die to this guy, though. Cryogen Relic. Bridge. We can play a Familiar. Discard a Ranger. Masked Vandal. Well, I can counter that, unless they pay 3, but I have to tap one of my guys to do it. We're going to die to attackers. Unless they actually pay for this. Which they don't. Alright. Elves, not the best match for us. Not the one we want to see round 1. Alright, this is all utility, but ideally it'll do something. Furbished Familiar. So we'll just start with a bridge. They're on Mountain Pass. Could just be mono red. Would love to see a Kessig Flame Breather that I could just Tithing Blade away. Grab the prize for a Snacker. I mean, I can tithe that too. Not quite as exciting. But it's either that or I just... Well, I could Grim Bobble it and then Familiar. Yeah, I guess that's better. Grim Bobble can't kill a Flame Breather, for example. Although it can kill a Gutter Snipe targeted. Well, whatever. And then ideally they won't discard a Snacker here and then get them both back. Or even 3 back with another Grab the Prize. Discard a Robbery is nice for us. Epicure pings for 1. And there's the other Grab the Prize. Fanatical Offering. We'll just play a Blood Fountain and pass with the Offering up. There's the Gutter Snipe. And with both, we're going to chump the Snacker. Sack to our Offering. Try to find more removal, I guess. The Gutter Snipe. Skyfisher can pick up the Bobble to ping it off. Glint Hawk can as well, and then we also have Offering up. Well, no, because we have to use our white and our black. So I might as well just do the Skyfisher, which can actually block then. They bolt us in response. Go to 9. Kind of expecting a Fire Blast too, but looks like maybe we're off the hook for that. Yup, bridge and pass. Discard a Fiery Temper to a blood token, so we're going to be at 6, or maybe they just kill the Skyfisher, in which case they get in for 6, or 3, down to 6 rather. They do take out the Skyfisher, put us down to 6. Flashback of Faithless Looting. Snacker in the bin. Skyfisher, I mean I can Tithing Blade, Glinthawk, Tithing Blade, but then they can just get both Snackers back. Still might be the right course of action. I think we're going to start with a Fanatical though, on the map. Cast down and Ghostly Flicker. Flicker can be decent. I think then here we just Skyfisher, pick up the Bauble, take out the Epicure. I mean, we're dead to a couple bolts and we don't have really any life gain in the main deck except for a flipped Tithing Blade, so we're not in a good spot, but maybe we can stabilize here, get the Tithing Blade down, and flip it in the next couple turns. Flashback of Faithless Looting. They cast a Faithless Looting from hand, discard 2 mountains, get back their Snacker, Gutter Snipe, and they got the Lava Dart, which is going to be lethal. We get Thraben Charms for Graveyard Hate, Navigator's Compasses for life gain, and I don't hate Duress either. Take out Fumes, Kenku's too slow. We don't need Rods. Blood Found's slow too. And maybe a Fanatical so we don't twiddle our thumbs too much. Oh. Well, I forgot to bring in Blue Blasts. Obviously, that's a big mistake. But I have confidence we'll be able to get there anyway, and then we'll bring him in for game 3. This hand is reasonable. Start with a bridge. They play an Epicure. We're just going to bobble that away. I think we can just pick up the bauble later. We also get a Compass, which isn't bad. Faithless Looting. Discard a Snacker and a Lava Dart. Would love a Spell Bomb or a Thraben Charm. Skyfisher. Let's just Duress. They're going to bolt in response. Fire Blast and 2 more bolts. Quite a lot of them. I think we just take the Fire Blast because it's free and an extra damage. And play a Compass. Pick it back up with the Glinthawk. Play a Mountain and pass. Another Skyfisher. We'll swing for 2. Well, I think we just play a Compass and then another Skyfisher to pick it back up. So we'll grab the Compass and we'll pass. This is going to keep us very much alive in the face of just their burn. If they get a Gutter Snipe or something, we have a cast down for it, which is nice. An Epicure I'm not too worried about. They do have a blood token to discard a Fiery Temper. We're at enough life, I think they're probably going to go for a Skyfisher here. Indeed. Play a Mountain, and we finally get a Relic. That's what we want to see. Play that. 3 life is nice, but a card is better. Untapped land is exactly what we want. Play a Skyfisher, pick up the Relic. We're at a high enough life total, I'm not too worried about wasting a little bit for card draw. They do just bolt the Skyfisher, that's fine. Relic still comes back to hand, and we draw a card. And I think we'll just leave the Glinthawk back. Trading 2 for 1 is not a terrible idea when we're at about equal life totals, but I still don't see the need for it right now. We can't present enough damage right now for it to be really worth it in terms of racing. They just bolt us. Interesting. Highway Robbery. Sack a land. Snacker comes back. Play a Mountain. They could swing. They have a Lava Dart in their graveyard, but I'm okay with that trade too. Grim Bauble's not bad. We're going to just start with the Relic again. Draw. Glinthawk is perfect. Play that. Bring back the Relic. Cast down. We'll swing for 2 now because we have another Glinthawk for the Epicure. We also just... I think I want to get down to the Compass so we have extra blue. And then we'll play the Grim Bauble, I guess. So we already have removal for whatever else they throw at us. I think we'll just take out the Snacker again here. They do have a Faithless Looting in the graveyard, so it'll come right back. So I guess we'll just go for the Epicure then. They grab the prize right away. You'd think they would attack first, and then they Flame Breather. Don't think we're blocking if they swing though, but they're actually going to leave it back to block. Thoughtcast is not bad. Guess we'll start with that. Another Thoughtcast. We have a Skyfisher. I think we will play the Relic so we can get it down this turn, and then cast down the Flame Breather. I'm not going to swing into the Snacker this turn. We only get in for 2 damage, and they can get this right back with the Faithless Looting we know about. I'll probably wait until I pick up the Bauble, play it again, pick this off, then start attacking. Another Flame Breather. And another. Okay. Part of me wanted to save this last cast down for a Gutter Snipe, but 2 of these is basically a Gutter Snipe, so I think we gotta take one of them out. Let's Glint Hawk pick up the relic. Ancient Den, so that means I can Thought Cast here and still relic and cast down. Play the relic. Raven Charm, that's pretty good too. So we're gonna probably next turn kill the Snacker and then Thraben Charm the Grave. We're gonna Lava Dart in response since it's a lightning bolt essentially from the graveyard. There to not waste it, or at least not waste the 1 damage they get from it here. We'll pass. Flashback the Faithless Looting. Discard a Mountain and a Fire Blast. No swing. I actually don't know if I care about the Snacker coming back because we have enough damage now that I might actually just Thraben Charm the Flame Breather, hold up the Rebuke, and Skyfisher. I think that probably makes the most sense. Skyfisher for the Bauble. So we'll take out the Snacker, play a Bridge, take out the Flame Breather, and then swing for 6, and we have a counterspell as well if they have a draw to. And then we got him in just a couple turns. Another Flame Breather, I think, is actually fine. I'm going to discard another Snacker with the Blood Token, play a Mountain, and pass. We get a Thought Cast into another Relic, plus a Thraben Charm. We will Thraben Charm the Flame Breather, hold up the Rebuke, and attack for 8 here. Cast a Faithless Looting. We're going to counter that. Though it doesn't really matter because it'll make tapped guys anyway. So maybe I should just leave it, but here we are. Blue, tap, tap. Alright, we're able to take that game. As I said, we'd be fine. Blue Elemental Blasts obviously should be coming in though. That was clearly just a mistake. Duress I don't hate, but I think that seeing as we have the Blasts, those are probably better. I could just take out the Rebukes. I don't really need this many removal spells. I'm trying to think if Ghostly Flicker is actually necessary here. It's not necessary, but is it good? It's not bad if we can Flicker, Grimbauble, and or Tithing Blade to pick off a couple reasonable guys. Cryogen Relics, obviously we could just draw a bunch with it, but I don't hate, or really, I don't really need that. Can also just keep our guys alive, maybe. Or prevent like a Smash to Smithereens. I think maybe it's good enough. We will try it still. This is a lot of 2-drops. But we'll keep it. The Refurb can obviously be a 1-drop, as is the Glint Hawk, but it's not on turn 2. And then these are all 2-drops, but it's a little slow of a hand, but hopefully we'll be alright. As long as we don't lose a land or something. Another 2-drop. Grab the prize of Snacker. Yep, that's the good start. Thought Cast. So Tithing Blade is basically the same as a Familiar here in terms of damage we're taking. Although actually they get to choose. They could lose the Epicure, we'd take 1 extra, but I think that's fine either way. And then it gives us more affinity for if we want to play the Familiar and then the Glint Hawk next turn. Or I guess if we don't draw a land, we'll probably play Skyfisher, pick up the Ancient Den, replay it, or play it, play the Glint Hawk. Yeah, so I think we'll just start with the Tithing. They do sack the Snacker. Faithless Looting, so Snacker comes back. They discard another Snacker and a Fiery Temper. That's pretty good. Swing for 1, and if 4 cards, we're at 12. I mean, this feels not great, but we are going to go with the Skyfisher, replay the Ancient Den, Glint Hawk, the Tithing Blade, just so we have some blockers. Grab the prize, a Lava Dart, get back the other Snacker. They have a Dart, so we're at a virtual 9. Now they swing with both after they did the Snacker. I guess they have different cards now. The only way we get really blown out by this is like end the festivities. I mean, another Lava Dart from hand kills both of these guys, but I'm not taking this damage, that's for sure. They do flashback the Lava Dart to kill off the Skyfisher, and then just leave it. Except they discard a Power Blast to their Blood Token. I don't know if they thought they were getting their Snacker back, but they already did that this turn. We get a Bridge. I'm Tithing Blade away the Snacker, so I don't take 2 this turn. I could just block with the Glint Hawk, sack it to the Offering. That'll give us enough to Thoughtcast for 1. That's probably the best bet. Gives us the most hits to draw some of our life gain too, our compasses, which we are kind of in desperate need of. And I don't really need to trade for this Snacker. They flashback a Looting. I feel like they really need to start doing that post-combat, because if I did just trade with these, then the second one would come back, but what do I know? Discard a Mountain and another Pyroblast. They bolt us, and after all of that, they swing. I'll block, and I'll do my Offering. I need some lands. I need a compass. Compass and a Skyfisher would be decent, I guess. And a land, because I'm drawing a card for turn. They're going to Fire Blast me in response. They have another one? Yes. Okay, they had 2 Fire Blasts. They got me. Okay, we'll keep this hand. It looks reasonable. We're against Faeries. Let's see if they're trying out any of the new Faeries cards, like, well, not actually Faeries cards, but like Ilvoid Galeblade, or I saw some people talk about Cryo Shatter. Goldmire Bridge. Suffocating Fumes actually is going to be probably pretty good at the right time. They did 2 to the top for that Fairy Seer. They got a Ninja right away. Replay the Seer. Refurb. We need more artifacts first. Unfortunately, it's not really efficient to play a Skyfisher here, so I think I'm just playing a Rod. Blocks the Ninja at the very least, if not the Fairy. They snap back the Hero. Not snap back the card, but just snap it, you know, back into our hand. Swing for 3. And we get a Spell Bomb. I guess I could play that and then a Refurb, but if they have a Spell Stutter, then they can just get the Spell Bomb. So they could also get the Skyfisher, so it actually probably makes sense for me to just play the Familiar here, I suppose, to avoid Spell Stutter Sprite, although obviously they could just counterspell this. It resolves, though, which is pretty nice. They discard an island and flash in the Galeblade. Another island. They just swing with the Galeblade. Interesting. I don't know why they'd be more willing to trade this than the other ones. I mean, I guess this is the least valuable. But it's also possible that they're just trying to bluff for 1 because they're going to sack this anyway. So I think I'll just block. I mean, it's a fine trade for us anyway. Not insane or anything, but Seat of the Synod. I think we'll just Spell Bomb, because I'm not really... If they want to Spell Stutter this, it's not really the end of the world. And now I'll Skyfisher. Spell Starting this is a little more annoying, but it's also possible, yeah, that by doing this, I can maybe catch them with a Suffocating Fumes next turn. Especially if I get an untapped land and I Glint Hawk and maybe they go for another Sprite. Then I Suffocating Fumes, that could be really good. Just trying to set up for that. They hit for 4 and loot. Discard another Galeblade, so they have definitely 2 pieces of action. I think I'll Glint Hawk so that I have mana to do something else. That's going to resolve. Pick up the Rod so I can just replay it. Make another blocker for the Ninja. They're going to swing with everybody. I'll block the Spell Stutter and I'll block here. If they want to like Brine Barrow the hero, I'm not too annoyed by that. There's the Intruder. On the Glint Hawk, though, to keep the Spell Stutter alive. And then Ninja back the Fairy Seer. So these are going to trade then. Okay. And they leave up 1 mana. This is annoying, but I think I might, for the blocker, Skyfisher here for a land. And then Cryogen Relic, as opposed to obviously doing it the other way. If I drew a land, it would be decent. But also if they had the Spell Pierce right there, then I would get stopped. And I really wanted this blocker down. Refurb is good. There's the Seer. 1 top, 1 bottom. Then they play another Seer. Again, 1 top, 1 bottom. No attacks this time. Good for us. Only 1 card in hand, too, which we can take with the Familiar. So we'll see what they got there. It was a Dispel. Nice, because now we can... I think I just want to Offering to draw a land. I don't think this Rod is that important now. I could go for the Relic to draw an extra card, but of course we'd want to have that if we can. We do draw a land. We're going to pass here. They get whatever they put on top. Maybe an Of One Mind, maybe another Spell Stutter Sprite. Nothing that helps them break through, though. We get a Skyfisher. Alright, I'm going to play a Blood Fountain. It's the only thing we can play to hold up this Fumes, and if they went with a Spell Stutter, I could Fumes in response. Rebuke is not going to be relevant against any one spell, because everything in their deck is like 2 mana or less, except for like hard casting a Ninja, but I could still hold it up in case they get like a card draw into something else. Yeah, I mean, let's Skyfisher. If they have the Spell Stutter now, so be it. If not, though, we just get the Relic back, draw another card, dig for some more lands, which is a nice hit, and pass back to them. They're going to pass to us. Goldmire. Play the Relic. Play the Bridge. Play the Rod. I think we'll swing now. I guess if they have a Brine Barrow, they can block and kill it. It's not terrible, but I guess I'd rather wait until we have the Fumes for that. I should have held up a black so I could finally crack this Spell Bomb. So I only used 1 here and 1 on the Relic, so yeah. Oh well. They're drawing cards, but we're doing a lot more than they are. Tithing Blade's not terrible. Probably just eats like an intruder. Thing for 1. Intruder indeed. Let's swing with the Glint Hawk now. And the hero token. They'll take 4. I'll pass. I have Fumes and Rebuke, which we can potentially use. They just pass here. We're gonna Fanatical Offering the Spell Bomb. Draw 1 and 2 more. Very nice. Let's Glint Hawk. And they concede there. We had a million flyers. We had more advantage than they did, so that was pretty good for us. Arms of Hadar is good. Duresses are good. I think that's all we need. They have Snap, so Kenku's bad. Rebukes don't really seem great here. Although Spell Bomb is bad. Thraben's okay. Not great. So maybe we'll leave the 1 in and just run it like that. 1 Vault's not going to cut it. This one's okay, I suppose. I think we'll get rid of the Rebuke. Play a bridge and pass. Oh no, they have the Gale Blade. No, it's just an intruder. That's fine. I hope they tap out for a big ninja here, so I can just Tithing Blade it away. But it's just a hacker and a Strix. So I can Rod here. We know they have the Brine Barrow, so blocking is not amazing. I guess I just Tithing Blade here. Take out one of their guys. Probably the Strix. Indeed. They get in for 2 and loot away another hacker. And just pass to us. They miss a land drop, which is nice, but they have counterspell mana, so nothing we do is sure to resolve. I think I'll just Thoughtcast. If they want to counter it, so be it. It resolves, but we don't hit any lands. Maybe we should be playing more than 19. We're playing as many as Grixis Affinity does, but obviously this is very different from Grixis Affinity in a lot of ways. We probably need more because we have a lot of 1-drops and 2-drops like the Glint Hawk that actually make it so we need to cast something else as well. So I guess 20 land is probably better, not 21. They have another hacker. Also, no white is obviously pretty detrimental here. They get rid of a big ninja. We do get a bridge. They find their land drop though. I think we're gonna play a Black Mage's Rod for a blocker, but that might just get counterspelled. It does. We'll play a bridge. They'll swing and put us to 8. Discard an island and an intruder. Pass. I don't think Arms of Hadar is going to resolve, so I think we start with the Glint Hawk. And they spell stutter, I cast down, they counterspell, and it's pretty bad. But I don't really have much else to do. I could just have started with a cast down, I guess. We'll try to cast this down. That actually worked. Okay. We'll pick up the Tithing Blade. Play a Vault and pass. They discarded an intruder, but I'm not going to be surprised if they have another one. They flash in a Gale Blade and a Strix, so they can tap down the Hawk, get in for 5. We're going to have to Arms of Hadar and just hope they don't have a counterspell, I guess. They do only have 2 cards in hand, but they're about to loot twice, plus the Gale Blade can draw another one. Discard a ninja and an island. Get a refurb. I guess I could refurb and Tithing or cast down, so I don't have to just go for the Arms of Hadar. Yeah, I think that's a little safer, so we'll try it. Refurb. They discard a Spell Stutter Sprite, and I'm going to cast down a ninja in their upkeep. Maybe this is a little overzealous, but trying not to die. And a Dispel plus like a tap would have killed us there. Now they have to just have 2 removal spells. There's a Bind the Monster. They take 2. Same with the team. I guess another ninja is going to kill us as well. Brine Barrow Intruder does not kill us. We're at 1, and we have an Arms of Hadar to wipe their board. They can gain a card in response, but they're not dead yet. They don't even sack the Gale Blade. New card, so hard to remember how to use it. They draw an of 1 mind. Perfect timing. Make it expensive. There are a lot of flash guys with 1 power that could kill us, so I have to leave up this Thraben Charm probably, and I can't Fanatical Offering this Glint Hawk yet, so I think I just have to Relic. Bridge is not terrible. They're going to flash in a Gale Blade, and I'm going to kill it on the end step before they can sack it. Or, you know, have counterspell mana up. They have another of 1 mind. I mean, I still don't love to see those, even if they are 3 mana. And another of 1 mind. Okay, we get to Thoughtcast. Fumes isn't bad, plus we get a Skyfisher. We'll play Fisher, pick up the Glint Hawk. Play the Glint Hawk, pick up the Relic, a Tithing Blade. Okay. I would love some instant speed removal, but I guess we've already used 2 cast downs and a Thraben Charm, which might be all of our instant speed removal, actually. So we're going to have to leave these guys back a lot. I guess our Fumes is also instant speed removal. We've used a lot of our removal this game. But let's play the Relic. They have an Annul. Can't do anything about that. They got 3 cards in hand. I think we're just going to pass. They have their 4th of 1 Mind. I mean, again, it's slow, but now it's really adding up to a lot of value. They have a Snaremaster Sprite. Okay. Tap down the Skyfisher. Skyfisher's as good as dead, so we're just gonna sack it, and we're gonna sack the map. Refurb's a good draw. Tithing Blade will take out the Sprite. So let's start with a Familiar. Skyfisher means the Familiar can take another card as well. Discard an island. Fisher, pick up the Familiar, take another card. Couple islands, that's fine. Tithing Blade the Sprite. And I'll map onto the Glint Hawk for a little extra damage. Or just a bridge. We'll swing for 2. We have 2 blockers. That should be enough for the 1 card and the 1 card they're going to draw. And they concede. Okay, that was a very close game, but we were able to take control of it, and we still had a Suffocating Fumes and a Blade in hand, so that was pretty sweet. All right, we'll keep this one. More blue. Rebuke. We have so many essentially 1 mana black spells that I'm going to start on the Vault with a Blood Fountain so that we can keep playing more next turn. They have a Brainstorm in response, so probably Terror. I suppose it could be High Tide, in which case Rebuke could actually be pretty decent, as will the Familiars. Fumes. Well, we're just going to play a Familiar. Discard an island, but it didn't even hesitate. They didn't play anything for 2 mana. They didn't even hesitate to counter this, to try to counter it. So Lorien still could be either. I'm thinking High Tide, personally. Island and pass. Ghostly Flicker. That'll be pretty sweet if we can use it on 2 Familiars, although we need a land for that. I think we're going to hold up Rebuke, and then if there's nothing to rebuke, we'll Blood Fountain away the Suffocating Fumes. Blood Token away the Fumes. There's a piece of the puzzle, so it is High Tide. Yeah, so let's hold up the Rebuke. Preordain. I'm not countering that. I'm countering a big draw spell, or a High Tide, or maybe a Tutor. Scry 1 to the top, play an island. They're going to pass. Bin the Fumes. We get a tap land. Untap land would let me make them discard 2. Basically just turn this Ghostly Flicker into a Mind Rot, which would be kind of cool. I don't think they're going to be able to do very much on 2 cards. Just an Offering. Attack for 4. Play a bridge. We're going to pass. We're going to leave up Rebuke and Offering. There's a High Tide. We're going to counter that. They can tap 3 if they want, but that's obviously not what they're going to do, because that will shut down their turn and essentially counter it anyway. Question is, can they keep going? And they don't think so. Thraben Charm, not super relevant. We're going to just take 2 of their cards right now, I think. I don't think they had another High Tide, or they maybe still would have gone for it, but taking 2 of their cards feels like they're not going to be able to do much at all. And we only need a couple more turns to be able to deal them enough damage. Ideas Unbound, and they concede. All right, they concede the whole match, so we're able to get there. All right, we are on the draw, and if we just have a black source, this hand's not terrible. But honestly, it's not amazing. We don't have a black source, so I think we're going to ship it. This one looks a little better, although now we don't have a white source. It's possible we should be playing some Prophetic Prisms. Of course, Grixis Affinity doesn't really need to do that, so... you know, Spell Bomb, or one of these guys, or I could just get rid of the Skyfisher. I think we want to keep the Fisher, though. I think Boombust plays red, so if it's Madness red, then we want the Spell Bomb, and kind of the Tithing Blade, maybe? I guess probably the Grim Bauble. I don't know. We'll get rid of that, and we'll just see where it goes. They are on red, and we draw our white source right away, which is pretty nice. So we could Tithing Blade here. If they are on Madness, maybe we just want to get the Spell Bomb down. Cracking their blood right away for a snacker. If they have a Faithless Looting, get it back right away. They don't. So I think I will just get down the Spell Bomb, since we can prevent at least one snacker from happening. They're attacking for 1, and they got a Flame Breather, and that's it. I think we'll just Spell Bomb now. Draw a card, we get rid of 1 snacker, it's not terrible. Maybe we could hold out for more, but we kind of need to draw something. Tithing Blade gets rid of an Epicure. Not really what I want to get rid of at the moment. Fanatical's okay. We don't have anything else to do, and if they don't play any other creatures, the Tithing, next turn I can Skyfisher back the Tithing, play it again, get the Flame Breather. So we are just going to do this. And pass. Hope we don't take a bajillion damage. Another Flame Breather. But that's it. Okay. Well, that means I can Skyfisher back the Tithing Blade, kill one of them. They're going to Lava Dart me in response down to 13. Okay. Grab the prize on a Fiery Temper. Well, that is freaking 7 damage. They take out the Skyfisher, though, so I guess it's a little bit less damage that they get in with the Flame Breather. Black Mage's Rod. I could flip the Tithing Blade. I think the chances that that actually keeps us alive are very low, so I think I probably just Fanatical. But if I Fanatical the Tithing Blade and I get a Glint Hawk, if I don't Fanatical the Tithing Blade and I do a land, and I get a Glint Hawk, I can take out the Flame Breather. I think that's probably best then. I'd probably just sack the seat then. The Glint Hawk is a good draw. Well, we got the cast down, so I'll try that. Feel like they'll Lava Dart in response. No, they don't. We are tapped out if they have a Gutter Snipe or something, but at least we don't have a Flame Breather right now. There's the Gutter Snipe, and we're dead to just about anything. Another Lava Dart is definitely lethal. Well, we get Blue Elemental Blasts and Compasses. Can take these guys out. Rods are not necessary. Blood Fountains are slow. Thraben Charms some more removal. Oh, Fumes is not very good. So maybe bring a Rebuke back. Or I could Duress. We'll do it like this, though. We're on the play. I mean, this is not terrible. Compass makes blue for the Thought Cast, which actually lets us play it on turn 2. Yeah, I guess we'll give it a try. So, play the Compass. Epicure. Another Compass. I mean, that's not terrible. We can play it and make the Thought Cast cheaper again. But now we're drawing all lands, so we're not in a great spot. We kind of need a Relic, Cryogen Relic into like a Glint Hawk. They have grabbed the prize into Snacker. Refurb is not bad. Play that. Another Snacker. We'll play a Vault of Whispers. If we're lucky, they'll attack. We can block and then get rid of both Snackers with the Charm before they can get them back. They do swing with both, so we'll block here. Another Epicure. And just pass. We get a Glint Hawk. I guess we'll pick up a Compass. Would love to pick up something that gives us a little more value right now, but this is what we got. Blood, discard a Fiery Temper. Pick off the Hawk, yep. Swing for 2. They're going to discard a Lava Dart to get the Snackers back. We're going to Thraben Charm in response here. They also discarded a Lava Dart, which we can get rid of. Although they can obviously sack a land in response if they want. But they don't. Those are gone. Glint Hawk is okay, I guess. We are running out of cards, though. I could hold it, which isn't a terrible idea, but it's not a great idea either, because we're just taking damage. They have a Flame Breather, and another Flame Breather. We're going to kill one of those on the end step. Hope to draw a card draw. Nope. Well, Tithing Blade's not the worst, I guess. And we'll play a Compass. We do get to flip this Tithing Blade, if nothing else. They have a Bolt for the Glint Hawk, though. Highway Robbery. And another Flame Breather. Lucky them. We get another Tithing Blade. I guess we're going to try to conserve our mana and use... We're going to try to use up more mana this time. Flip our Tithing Blade. And the next turn, ideally, we get something else we can play with the Tithing. They go straight to attacks. Swing for 3. Grab the prize. We take 2. Smash to smithereens. How perfect. Now we get a Blue Blast. Okay, we'll play a Tithing Blade. And we'll pick off a Flame Breather. They got a Looting. Discard a Snacker. Hit for 1. And a Gutter Snipe. We get a Blue Blast, which means I pretty much have to use that rather than flipping the Tithing Blade. Because for awkward amount of mana. Flashback, Faithless Looting, get their Snacker back. Fiery Temper, that puts us to 3. Attack for 1. No Lava Dart in the bin, though. Fanatical Offering. Well, sack a Compass, and we get a couple lands. Okay. I don't feel like that league went exceedingly well. I don't know if it's just that we had some bad luck or that the deck has some issues. Certainly it's the first time I'm playing it, so I'm not expecting it to be perfect, but it just didn't feel like it was working quite as it should have. So a bit of an unfortunate run. The deck does seem sweet. Certainly there's more work to be done, but if you have any suggestions, let me know. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you to my patrons, including my $10 patrons, Howard Granger, Lars, JMW, Josh Greninger, and Rafa Rodriguez. I really appreciate the support, and I will see you all next time.